You know that sweet, sweet feeling when you fill out an absentee ballot, put it into the envelope, lick it shut, and then throw it into the mailbox, thinking that your vote will make it to the election office in a safe and sound manner. Millions of Americans did just that a few months ago throughout the entire country, since so many states now allow for mail-in balloting. However, if you happen to be a resident over in Santa Clara County, California, well, you might have a slightly different feeling from the rest of the country. That's because it turns out that several days after the actual date of the midterm elections, someone discovered what can only be described as mysteriously discarded ballots in a mountain ravine. That's right, you can see it up on screen for yourself. A bag stuffed with fully filled out, completed ballots were found discarded in a ravine off in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And oddly enough, several of the envelopes that housed these ballots were actually already torn open when they were discovered. Now, this batch of ballots was discovered by a passerby who happened to be riding her motorcycle through the area on her way to work when she spotted something that was a bit amiss. The woman who found the ballots, Miss Julie Neiman, she had this to say to a local media regarding her discovery. Quote, "Whoever threw the ballots here was trying to make it look so people wouldn't find them, is the way I saw it. They were dumped over the edge of the road down this deep ravine that goes pretty far in. It's very steep." Now, that same local media that conducted the interview actually also tracked down a husband and wife duo whose ballots were among those that were discovered. The couple, Mr. and Mrs. Janet and Lou Whitkin, they said that they both filled in and dropped off their election ballots at a local post office. You can see it up on screen for yourself. It's located on Payne Avenue in West San Jose. And when they were told about the situation, meaning when this husband and wife duo were told about the fact that their ballots were found in a mountainous ravine somewhere, well, needless to say, they were quite surprised. Here's specifically what the couple said to the local media. Quote, "We were very, very surprised. How did it get from the mailbox to Santa Cruz? It's disappointing to me that something could have transpired." Then the husband said, "I'm interested in the facts, so I want to see what was the situation. Was it something that was dropped in transit? What were the circumstances?" Now, in terms of it being dropped in transit, that logically at least doesn't seem feasible. Because if we look at the map, we can see that the post office that they dropped their ballots off at and where the ballots were supposed to go, meaning the elections office, they are not anywhere near this mountain ravine that they were eventually discovered in. It's quite, you can say, out of the way. And so what's really going on here? Well, the local officials, upon being informed of the situation, claimed ignorance. For instance, the local Santa Clara County registrar, Ms. Shannon Bushy, she's been on the job for 27 years. She was shown the pictures of these ballots by the media, and, well, here was her response. Quote, "Well, it appears from the pictures that there are ballots mixed in with non-election material. So in seeing that, you may think that this came from the postal stream somehow." She's essentially highlighting the fact that these ballots came from the post office rather than the designated ballot drop boxes in that area. However, after several days, she came back out once again and released another statement saying that they will be able to add in these ballots after the fact to the local vote tallies. Here's specifically what she stated, quote, "I'm glad that we were able to recover these ballots and that the majority of them can be counted and included in the final election results, which we will certify on schedule on December the 8th, which for your reference was yesterday. This was a very unfortunate incident. I appreciate the USPS for working with us to get us the ballots as quickly as possible on behalf of the voters." However, the reason that she said that most of the ballots can be added rather than all the ballots is because somewhere around 13% of the discovered ballots either had envelopes that were already opened or they had a signature that was unacceptable. However, all this still doesn't answer the big burning question, which is how did these ballots wind up in the ravine in the first place? And thus far, the answer is not exactly clear. At the moment, the registrar's office, as well as the local post office, are still investigating the incident. Here's in fact what Ms. Shannon Bushy said on the matter of the investigation. Quote, "I'm very concerned about this issue, and I am hoping for a quick resolution and investigation by the Postal Service so that we can determine what happened." Furthermore, according to another report from the Red Bluff Daily News, which is a local news outlet in that area, both state and federal officials are also looking into the case as well. Here's what their report stated just a few days ago. Quote, "According to U.S. Postal Inspector spokesperson Jeff Fitch, postal officials in Washington, D.C. are aware of the incident. The Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office is also involved." And indeed, to corroborate that, the local ABC affiliate over in Santa Clara County emailed the U.S. Postal Service, who responded by confirming that they are in fact investigating this. Here's what they wrote, quote, "This case is under investigation by the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. They will release more information when appropriate." Now, I don't know about you, but hearing the fact that the federal government is now investigating the matter, well, it fills me with nothing but bottomless optimism. Perhaps in a few short years, we can get to the bottom of what actually happened here. Now, regardless of how it happened, as I mentioned earlier, the county registrar, she went ahead and she added all the ballots, at least the ones that were acceptable, to the county totals. However, this does raise a larger question, one that has to do with voter integrity on a broad scale, because most people would think twice, thrice, or even 4 times before putting cash into an envelope and then sending it to someone. Generally, people would not send money through the mail. But in ever more states, people are sending ballots through the mail. In fact, since the year 2020, more and more states have opened up their mail-in voting laws such that people in many states don't even need a reason to vote by mail. They can just do it if they want to. However, every once in a while, cases like these emerge, ones in which ballots are found, not where they're supposed to be, but as in this case, in a ravine by the mountain. And so I'd really love to know your thoughts. What does this all mean? Do you think that these are just isolated, small-time incidents that happen every once in a while, but don't really affect anything? Or do you think that these are just the cases that have been discovered? These are only the ones that we are aware of, and actually there are many ravines, just like the one in San Jose, that have just yet to be discovered. I'd love to know your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments section below. I'll be reading them over the weekend. And also, as you're making your way down there to the comments section to leave your thoughts, take a short detour to smash that like button so this video can be shared out by ever more people via the YouTube algorithm. And also, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel as well. That we can get this type of honest news content delivered directly into your YouTube feed every time we publish it. All right, just to pause here for a super quick moment, I wanted to mention that the sponsor for today's episode is a super cool company called Sekur. And they're a cool company for people that actually care about their privacy. Because listen, if you don't think that these giant tech conglomerates and all these different alphabet agencies within the US government are spying on your messages, well, then frankly, you are not paying enough attention to the news. However, all that can be in the past because with Sekur, they have awesome proprietary technology that has all your messages and all your emails actually go through Switzerland as they're making their way back and forth between you and your recipient. And so let's say you're here in America and the person you're messaging is over in Canada, Mexico, or anywhere else in the world. Well, it doesn't matter because all your messages are actually going through Switzerland back and forth from one to another, meaning that they're not subject to the Cloud Act and they are only subject to Swiss laws, which are some of the safest in the entire world. Their technology is awesome, it's proprietary, and they're a company that actually cares about your freedom. They care about getting the facts out, which is why they sponsor a company like ours. And best of all, they are offering a 25% off deal for our viewers, for the viewers of Facts Matter. So head on over to Sekur.com and use promo code Roman to get 25% off. And the rates are not even that expensive to start with. It's only $5 for the messenger and $10 for the email and messenger combo. And they even offer a 7-day free trial. So again, head on over to Sekur.com, use promo code Roman, save some money, and support an awesome sponsor. And lastly, I'd like to mention that over on Epic TV, we just published a phenomenal, awesome documentary called The Final War. And it details exactly a 100-year-long plan that the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, has been executing on in order to destroy America. Here's a trailer for that documentary.
The greatest threat facing the United States is the CCP.
The Epoch Times investigation team had studied the CCP for years. But what we uncovered was yielding evidence beyond our imagination.
With Chairman Mao, with the Prime Minister, our talks have been characterized by frankness.
The Clinton administration said, oh, don't worry about it. This will be a poison pill for China.
China's strategic goal is to make sure that the U.S. has 4 enemies, and one of them must be a terrorist group.
We are giving of our life's blood so that the Chinese Communist Party can survive and thrive.
If you'd like to watch that awesome documentary, as well as a plethora of other great shows, documentaries, and movies, well, you can do so over on Epic TV. I'll throw the link. It'll be right there at the very, very, very top of the description box. I hope you check it out because not only is it a great resource for you, but also if you're thinking about some gift that you wish to give to your friends, your family, your neighbors, somebody you work with, or anyone else in your life, well, both Epic Times and Epic TV make a great gift as well. So the link will be right there. If you click on it, you can check it out and subscribe at any given time. And then until next time, I'm your host, Roman from the Epoch Times. Stay informed, and most importantly, stay free.